Hey, it's Mark Mason from MasonWorld.com. How's it going? I'm on the road again in Dallas, Texas. I'm on Central Expressway, and I got an email this morning I thought I'd share with you. I got an email from Jonathan Lachey talking about some new automation that he'd released for creating articles automatically. You know, about I guess 3 years ago, I wrote an article about how you could make $5,000 a month online by creating small sites and monetizing them, making a few dollars a day on each site, and figuring out how many sites you'd have to create in order to do that. The problem with that strategy is you end up managing hundreds of sites. You've got to create content for all those sites, and the only way to do that is to generate junk. And I hated that, so I never really pursued that. I tried it for a while. I got up to 100 sites or so, and decided that that wasn't a great idea. And besides, the approach that Google was taking to SEO has kind of slowly started to weed those things out in a lot of cases. Certainly not all cases. You can still find junk sites on the internet, but in many cases, it's just hard to do. Well, John's got an array of products now, and I was thinking, wow, it would really be possible to string those together and come up with sort of a fully automated way to create monetized sites that weren't just junk, that added some actual value to the internet. So here's my recipe for creating a fully automated site that you can monetize on the internet without a lot of work. First thing would be to go over to articlebuilder.net and look at the list of topics that are available and choose a topic that you like. That would be my first step. Second step would be to go to a tool like Keyword K9 and find a keyword with a green rating that was well covered by your topic. Third step would be to register a domain that was an exact keyword match for that topic. And if you couldn't get the exact keyword match, usually you cannot in .com, .org, or .net, then I'd get something close. For example, if you couldn't get weightlosstips.com, which obviously you can't, I'd get myweightlostips.com or weightlosstipsheadquarters.com or something like that. Something that's very, very closely related that contains a keyword in the domain. Fourth step is I'd set up a WordPress blog, and I'd use a theme, a free theme probably, that was relevant to the topic, which you can find readily, or I'd use Thesis. I would personally use Thesis, and I would just create a custom header, something very simple, nothing fancy for that blog, and get that WordPress installation up and running on my new domain. I guess the fifth step then is I would go back over to articlebuilder.net, and I would cause articlebuilder.net to automatically post about 2 to 3 blog posts a week, probably 2 blog posts a week, to this blog essentially forever. And I would use the new features that John has to automatically monetize those posts with ClickBank, and to automatically insert photos from Flickr. The reason this looks so attractive to me is because the kind of articles that are in articlebuilder.net are pretty good quality. They're not just junk on the internet. They're actually pretty decent stuff, and they're automatically monetized with ClickBank. You don't have to do anything. Another option would be to use AdSense. If your niche is good for AdSense, that could work for you too. So I'd set that up, and I'd just let that run essentially forever. Then the last step would be to do whatever automated promotion, I guess this would be step 6, whatever automated promotion that I was going to do. For example, I would use things like one-way links, or whatever follows on one-way links. I'd use Twitter backlinks. I'd use directory links like from Josh Spalding's product, Deep Linker Pro, and so forth. Just as many automated tools that I could think of to kind of spread them out, and I'd trickle those in. I'd use article directories and stuff like that from Automatic Article Builder or one of those tools, and I would just spread those out, make sure I didn't hit it too hard, and then I just let it go. John actually backlinks a lot of his stuff automatically, and there are other tools that you can use, so you can pick the ones that you like, but that's what I do. And then I just let it roll and see what happens. I think you could easily set up a blog like that in a couple of hours, maybe in a day at most. You could certainly completely outsource the whole thing, and if you did several of those a week, after a while you'd have an arsenal of 50 to 100 blogs. And if you could somehow get those blogs to make a sale a week from ClickBank or get a few clicks a day from AdSense, eventually you'd be up to hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a week in income. So that's my recipe. Untested, sure. I haven't done this specific thing. I probably will, and when I do, I'll post the results here. I won't do it on a large scale, but I'll probably do a few just to see how it looks, so I can report back and show you. One thing I will say is my experience with these kind of blogs is that they'll be hit and miss. So you might do one that does really well, and you might do another one that never even gets ranked. And so you've got to do a bunch of them in order to get some success. I think you've got to do a bunch of them and keep the ones that do well and flip the ones that don't do all that well. After all, I think a lot of people would be willing to pay $50 or $100 for a blog with lots of content that was on a topic that they were interested in. So that's another business model you can add to this, and that's what the guys over at AdSense Flippers do. They create a bunch of blogs like this, and they flip the ones that they don't want to keep. So that's me. I'm Mark Mason from MasonWorld.com, and that's my idea on a completely automated monetization strategy for mass blogging, auto blogging on a crazy wide scale. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.